Now, in my travels around the garages of the IRC series, with my tongue dragging on the ground, I eventually found one of my own favourites, the Pre-65s, and an old schooler who seems to love them even more than I do. His name is IRCTV.
20 years ago, this month, we started here in the North Island with 3 or 4 cars that we borrowed from the South Island, and we built them up from then. And we have now, I think, 42 cars on the register. The class is very popular with the older group of guys, because obviously Pre-65, a lot of grey hair. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we have a lot of fun. Very social club. We have a lot of fun and a lot of good friends. The cars guys have become more and more sophisticated as we've gone on, bearing in mind that they're still Pre-65 engines, Pre-65 gearboxes, Pre-65 differentials. The body shape's got to remain the same, suspension's got to remain the same. You know, we can modify the suspension and lower and, you know, stiffen it up, soften them up, do what we like. No limited slip dips, no lock up, all open. So the class is very true to the original concept of what we were. And I guess if a car that was started and built in 1980 came out today, it would still be legal, because our rules actually haven't changed that much, other than probably the wheels. We had steel wheels started with, and now we're allowed them to have mags. We're allowed to be a little bit more modern. Yeah, we have a scratch race, okay, fastest goes off the front, and then we have 2 handicap races. So in the handicap races, we for the last year we had a V8 win, but 2 years before that, the championship cars were Anglias, well-driven, fast Anglias. It's all about using your handicapping, because we've got 2 handicaps in one grid start race, and being consistent. If you're there consistently every race, you can get through. We've got 1400cc, 1300cc cars, and we've got, you know, here today we've got a 7-litre big block in a car that's come from the South Island. It's been bought by a Tauranga guy new to the club, and it's in a Nova. It's going to get there, you know, the big blocks. So we're talking 650 horsepower to 120 horsepower. The guys are pretty skilled, because we do run the handicap. They're skilled at holding your line. That's the big thing we teach them. We talk to them all the time. Hold your line. Let the big fellas, let the fast guys go around you. Don't try and get out of their way, because the moment you step out of their way, they're going to step over you. So you just hold your line. You just let them go around you.
What kind of banter is there between it? Being a very social aspect of sport and family orientated, does it get competitive out there, like the Red Bull comes in and away they go?
It gets. We have the classic guys don't like us because we're competitive. We don't go out there and have a race. We don't want to win. So it gets competitive. We rub guards occasionally, but the whole idea, on a Saturday afternoon after the racing, we have a barbecue and a beer, and everybody comes to the barbecue and the beer, and they all have a sword out and say, you know, I can't say what I want to say on TV, but you hit me, or I got you, I'll get you back next time. And we sort it out. Grudges don't get carried over, and if there is any aggravation, we, as the administrators, guys of the club, come along and say, come on, you sort yourself out, go and have a beer, you know. And it doesn't. We've got good friends. The guys are mates, you know. And it's mate on mate, but there's no. You get on the track, you look after him, but you don't let him get in front of you, you know.
Well, out on the track, it is a new format, IRC, and the Pre-65s have jumped on board with that. Yeah. How is that going to work for the Pre-65s? What benefit does it give you, and what benefit does it give the crowd, which is really the intention of the IRC series, isn't it?
It is. We could see that it's a numbers game. The tracks have got a lot of funding that they must come up with. You know, they cost them a lot of money, $50,000 to run a weekend. So they need some assurance that they're going to have enough cars turning up that's going to fund that. And in doing that, then we become spectator friendly, because we've got the cars, we've got, you know, minimum fields of 20, but you look around here today, there's 25, I think it's the smallest, up to 35 and 40 cars. So that whole concept encourages the people along, because it's spectator friendly. The mix of cars is brilliant. Sports cars, slicks, wings and slicks cars, you know, the big blocks, you know, the Super GTs, ECs 2000s. It's a brilliant mix of cars. And we want to make it friendly. We want to encourage life, because it's an all new concept. From dear old Motorsport New Zealand have been told what to do by them. We want to do it ourselves. You know, let's put our money where our mouth is, and let's do it ourselves. let's generate an interest that suits us, encourages extra people to come along and join the class and see the racing, and they want to go into it. You know, it's just, let's get interested in what we're doing. It's a neat concept, and I think it's just the beginning of a whole new way of doing motorsport that gets away from the traditional way we were doing things. The racing is going to be quicker, it's snappier, faster. Turn it into like a speedway. Saturday night, you know. Let's go to the racing and just let's do a quick meeting, you know. Punch. Everybody's happy. And the mix, I think, what we've achieved with the IRC in the mix is just brilliant. It's just amazing.
Now, with 4 classes inside the pre-65s, it can be just as tricky as those SS2000s to stay on top of, but the simple results are these. Class A, the big V8s had the muscle of Justin Harworth and the 64 Notchback take the round first equal with Andrew Stevenson. Now, Justin had a shocker in the first race, but then came back on the Sunday, and the combination of points with Andrew produced a result custom-made for banter around the barbecue. Class B, the 6-cylinder monsters, was led by Jeff Warren and the EH Holden. Jeff grabbed 2/3 and a second for the weekend, no doubt feeling robbed by those big cheating V8s. Class C, which is the 4 cylinders above 1400cc, was taken out by Grant Taylor and his almighty Anglia, his 5th, 7th and 3rd giving the Ford camp plenty to smile about. While Class D, the 4-cylinder machines under 1400cc, was robbed by Richard Hill, who wove his way around the larger vehicles in his Austin Farina to nimbly secure the class lead.